Welcome to Storyteller, a profile series highlighting the dreams, journeys, and achievements of our students, alumni, and supporters, presented by Doyon Foundation.
In this episode of Storyteller, we're here with Kevin Whitworth, a past Doyon Foundation Scholarship recipient. Thank you so much, Kevin, for joining us. To start, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, sure. Thanks for reaching out. First of all, thanks for Doyon Foundation for reaching out to me. I am Kevin Whitworth from McGrath, a tribal member of McGrath Native Village, and Degaton Athabascan. My family's originally from Holy Cross, and I've lived in McGrath all my life, pretty much.
Great. You received a Doyon Foundation Scholarship as a student. Tell us a little bit about your educational journey. What school did you attend and what was your degree?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to say that, my educational background really started growing up here in McGrath, living on the river, running up and down with my grandfather, my grandparents, my mom and dad, my aunts and uncles, and just learning about the environment that I lived in. Went K through 12 here in McGrath, graduated high school here, and then went to college afterwards, and went to Bozeman State in Montana. Was working there on my wildlife degree. Found out that it was a little bit expensive going and living in Bozeman, so then I moved to Fairbanks and went to UAF, where I pursued my wildlife degree there, and then a minor in natural resources.
That's great. Why did you choose that field of study?
Well, like I was saying in my intro, that just growing up in McGrath, growing up and being out in the woods, spending time learning about the environment that I'm from and live in, I just wanted to continue that and just learn more about where I'm from and the environment. And so I thought wildlife and biology would fit very well with that and get me outside some. And so, yeah, I just pursued that. And from a young age, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I knew that.
Wow. What are you doing now and what do you hope to accomplish through your career and work?
Yeah, so now I am, just for 3 weeks now, my role has changed a little bit. So I was the wildlife or the biologist for Kuskokwim River Intertribal Fish Commission. It's a tribally led commission, Kuskokwim River wide. But now I'm acting as the director of Kuskokwim River Intertribal Fish Commission. We have a lot of goals, but I'd say, my highest priority goal is working to strengthen tribal stewardship of fish and wildlife resources, so that they have a position to be part of wildlife and fish management into the future. So we're trying to build that, and I think that's a high priority for myself and personally and the company I work for. So we'll keep building on that.
You mentioned that you attended school out of state before moving back to UAF. What was the biggest challenge you faced in your educational journey and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, there was lots of challenges, just coming from a small village and moving to out of state, which I'd never done before, and then moving to Fairbanks and living in Fairbanks and going to school there. As you can imagine, just coming from a small town and living, just culturally, there's a shock there. But then I found out in Bozeman that it was just too expensive. So I had to make a change. So I went to UAF. So that was challenging as well, just the expense and trying to make ends meet when you're trying to pursue your education. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So culturally, there was some challenges, and even my upbringing in a small community, I felt like I didn't have a real strong background in biology, like I didn't take high school biology. I didn't have that opportunity. So there was some challenges too when I first got to school. Even at 100 level, college level classes, I struggled through them, but I made it. I kept pushing.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that there is a lot of students who experience the culture shock from moving from the village to a big town and attending the university. Do you expect to continue your education in the future? If so, what are your plans?
So, I mean, there's a couple ways I think about that. And I guess to go to college or is one way to think of it, but I don't think I'm going to go back to college and pursue a master's or a PhD at this time. I don't think, things can change, but I think educationally, I am learning every day, something new every day. So my education is not stopped. So I'd like to say that as well. So yeah, every day something's new, especially 3 weeks into this new position. I feel like every day I'm learning something.
That's an excellent way to put it. Apart from school and work, what other activities or community involvement do you enjoy?
Well, I got a family here, 2 kids and a wife and a little dog team. I love getting out and about with the dog team and taking the family out camping and just spending time as much as I can out at the cabin, up the river, hunting and fishing, teaching my kids to respect animals and wildlife and fish and just to enjoy being outdoors. That's what I really like. And taking friends out, going camping. Those are some of the things I really like. I like winter sports, making trails with snow machine and trapping and skiing and stuff like that. I really enjoy rural Alaska and living out here. I still live out here. And yeah, there's lots to enjoy.
So you mentioned you do a lot of cultural work, like respecting the land. Does native language play a lot in your life or other cultural activities?
Yeah, native language. So my family hasn't spoken their native tongue in a very long time. A lot of my family, they grew up in Holy Cross, the mission, so they did not encourage language there with native tongue. And so we haven't spoken our language in several generations, so which is really sad. So I don't have a very strong background in our native language, but culturally, yeah, very important. But teach my kids to be proud of their culture, teach them as much as I can about who they are and, respecting the land and animals, like I said. But then, my kids are also, they're Scandinavian and they're Russian, they're all sorts of different cultures. So teaching them all about those different cultures and being respectful of everybody and all those other cultures as well is important, I think.
Yeah, that's great. What kind of support did you receive from Doyen Foundation and how did it help you as a student?
So I think every semester, it's been a while since I was in college, but every semester I'd receive some scholarship money from Doyen. And I don't know what you guys give nowadays, but at that point, I got enough to pay for my books basically each semester and maybe a little bit more, but it helps. Every little bit helps. And so the scholarship helped me.
That's awesome. Do you have any words of advice or encouragement for students today?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a very good question. There's so much you can say and give it in advice. And well, I basically, it's going to be tough. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be good times too. And I really enjoyed my education and had a very good time in college. And but there was challenges, you have to be disciplined and working really hard to achieve getting that degree. And it's a lot of individually, you have to have motivation to do it. So anyhow, there's lots of challenges, but I think being motivated, being disciplined, and knowing that nobody else is going to do your work besides yourself, you just have to buckle down and do it. So I just want to say that's basically it.
Great, thank you for that advice. That'll be very beneficial for our students. Is there anything else you'd like to mention today?
Well, just thank you for this time. Thanks Doyon Foundation for scholarship over my college years. I enjoyed this very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We're very excited to get this out to our students. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
For more storyteller profiles, visit doyonfoundation.com/storyteller.